Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be in the world right now. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Time in the United States. My name is Larry Seabrack, and I am the president of the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass. I want to welcome you today to today's meetup on January 14th, 2022, which is being dedicated to the International Year of Glass. On behalf of the AACG, we want to wish you all a happy and healthy new year. Before we get started, I want to mention that there are several videos that we will be showing throughout the presentation. Depending on your bandwidth with Zoom, some of the audio may be a little choppy. Please bear with us. You should not have to make any adjustments with your audio on your end. Also, during the PowerPoint presentation, you should probably be on speaker view, and at the end, we can go back to the gallery view where we can chat. Now, it gives me great pleasure and it is an honor to welcome three special individuals that are joining us today from around the globe. Alicia Duran, who is the leading force and chairperson behind the United Nations International Year of Glass. She is the president of the International Commission on Glass and joins us from Madrid. Teresa Medici joins us from Italy and is the chairperson of the International Committee on the Arts, History, and Museums for the International Year of Glass. And Manoj Chowdhury, who is the chairperson for the North American Steering Committee and one of the founders of the concept of the UN International Year of Glass. Next image. So about 6 months ago, we formed the AACG International Year of Glass Committee, co-chaired by Jan Smith, who was the previous executive director at the Bergstrom Mahler Museum of Glass, and Bonnie Marks, who's the previous owner of the Marks Gallery in Chicago. We are represented on both the International and North American steering committees dealing with the arts and museums. Next image. Please get used to seeing this Year of Glass logo. We hope to see it on as many programs and exhibitions as possible during 2022. Today's program will be devoted to discussing the United Nations International Year of Glass, how this came to be, how the arts are represented in this global effort, how did the AACG get involved in this effort, and what is the AACG doing to promote and endorse the International Year of Glass. After my orientation, I will introduce our committee, who will present our efforts to date. In 2022, the material of glass is being celebrated globally for its unique qualities by many disciplines and organizations. These include science, technology, and engineering industries, university and academic programs, technical and professional organizations, and architecture and architectural programs. There's a major effort devoted to the role of glass in the energy sphere and its role in environmental sustainability. Now, the arts, including museums, galleries, artists, community arts centers, and historical organizations focused on the material of glass, is an essential part of the International Year of Glass and the focus of the role of the AACG. Next image. I would like to introduce Felice Appel from our board and the committee, who has been in charge of our marketing and social media. She will introduce our video, which was produced to give an overview of the program today. Felice? Felice, you'll have to unmute.
Thank you, Larry. And hello, everyone. I'm Felice Appel, Public Relations Practitioner and Board Member of Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass and Arizona Glass Alliance. In just a few moments, you'll learn some of the many resources available to you to both seek out and share programming for this global initiative. Like what you're seeing and hearing this afternoon, I invite you to spread the word, trend on social, and tag your posts with IYOG and IYOG22. Let's get this party started, courtesy of video producer Lou Wynn, and to so many of you who generously contributed content. AACG welcomes you to the International Year of Glass.
In May of 2021, the United Nations declared 2022 as the International Year of Glass. Programming is planned worldwide this year to celebrate all aspects of glass, such as studio and public art glass, architecture, history, technology, industry, and science. Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass is honored to be a member of the International Year of Glass Steering Committee and is tasked, along with the American Ceramic Society, with leading promotion efforts around the art component of this global initiative. The official kickoff for International Year of Glass will take place on February 10, 2022, in Geneva, Switzerland, at the UN Palace of Nations, the European headquarters of the United Nations. Other scheduled activities include a National Day of Glass event on April 5th through 7th, 2022 in Washington, D.C. that will be held in conjunction with the annual meeting of the American Ceramic Society. The three-day event will feature robust programming, such as the science and technology of the glass industries and energy, the art of glass, glass and architecture, and the environmental sustainability of glass featuring the North American glass industry, art community, government agencies, and educational systems that rely on glass.
I am Larry Seabrack, the president of the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass. This is an extraordinary time to celebrate the material of glass in the arts, science, technology, communications, architecture, and sustainability of the environment on a global basis. It is our hope that artists and art institutions and organizations will join us in sharing the International Year of Glass and 2022 programming. Simultaneously, we will celebrate the 60th anniversary of the American Studio Glass movement in 2022.
Hi, I'm Dimitra Theophanis, President-elect of the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass. Glass as an artistic medium has continued to evolve since its early days 60 years ago, and with the advent of new technologies is continually surprising and delighting us with its ability to so aptly combine conceptual thought with such a highly technical material. Glass is finally being recognized as it should, as a fine art medium with growing additions to museum collections worldwide.
How can you get involved with International Year of Glass 2022? Whether you're a North American museum, gallery, glass center, school, artist, regional glass collectors group, or other entity with a focus on or interest in contemporary glass, we invite you to help spread the word about this global initiative. Share your upcoming calendar of exhibitions, workshops, trainings, conferences, and other programming by sending information to admin@contemptglass.org or ceramics.org/IYOG. Your programming will then be included on fluid event calendars of art-related glass events throughout 2022 so all can enjoy. Tag your programming and social posts with hashtag IYOG and hashtag IYOG2022. And connect with us as we celebrate glass every day.
Thank you, Felice, and thanks, Linda, for getting that set up. So let me give you some background. So this concept did not just happen in thin air. The United Nations has been observing designated years with a specific theme since 1959. The main reason behind this is to promote awareness internationally and to take action on important issues. The effort focusing on glass has been going on for at least 6 years. And in 2014, Corning first proposed the arrival of the glass age. The next year, the United Nations designated the year of light and light-based technologies. This concept of the glass age was propagated by Dr. David Pai of Alfred University and Manoj Chowdhury, the chairman of the North American Committee at international forums. And then in 2018, there was an article on glass in the Atlantic, Humankind's Most Important Material, which, and later that year, Dr. Pai and Charles Craig of the Corning Corporation outlined a vision to the UN for the International Year of Glass. In 2019, the International Commission of Glass president, Alicia Duran, took the leadership with enthusiastic support from national organizations. And then finally, last year, at the General Assembly of the United Nations designated the Year of Glass of 2022. So during 2020 and early 2021, next slide, please. Requests for endorsements were sent out on a global scale. The AACG was one of the early endorsers of the concept. This image shows the response just prior to the formal declaration in May of last year. As you can see, there were well over 1,000 endorsements from academic institutions, associations and organizations, companies, museums and artists, and research and development centers. These represented 80 countries and 5 continents. Since May, this has been significantly expanded. And in mid-August last year, it was decided to form a North American International Year of Glass Committee. Next slide. So this shows the structure of this important committee as it applies to primarily the United States and Canada for this year's efforts. And this committee is chaired by Manoj Chowdhury, who I've mentioned before. It is being organized through the American Ceramic Society, which is an international organization of over 11,000 members dedicated to the study of the material sciences of ceramics and glass. For today's program, please focus on the upper left, where you can see the Art and Museum Coordination Committee. This is what will deal with all of the promotion and endorsement of the arts and related events for the Year of Glass. You'll hear more about this committee later. The next slide shows the Palace of Nations, which is the European headquarters of the United Nations in Geneva. This is where the opening ceremonies will take place for the Year of Glass. The conference will open with lectures on the history of glass art. Jamie Carpenter, who many of you are familiar with, is scheduled to speak on glass in architecture. And the closing talk will be by Kimiaki Higuchi on art made by Pate Ver. The next slide shows some of the events that are scheduled, and this is will be expanded greatly all over the globe, including Asia, the Far East, and certainly Europe. And this starts in Geneva in February, and the closing ceremonies will take place in December in Tokyo, Japan. And the next slide shows the events which are taking place in North America, starting with the Day of Washington on April 5th to the 7th. All of these events are primarily associated with science and technology symposia. However, all of them are committed to expressing the arts and showing speakers and events related to the arts. I would now like to introduce Kathy Jordan, next slide please, who is the president of the American Glass Guild, an organization dedicated to stained glass and the creation, preservation, and restoration of decorative glass. She is also the co-chair of the North American Steering Committee and chairs the committee that I mentioned on the Art and Museum Coordinating Committee. Kathy, please join us.
Thanks, Larry. My name's Kathy Jordan. To give you a little background about myself, I've been working in glass for over 35 years. I owned and operated a stained glass studio, The Art of Glass, from 1987 to 2014, with an emphasis on liturgical, historic restoration and preservation. And in 2014, I joined Willett Hauser Architectural Glass as their Director of Art Development. I oversee all new window sales for the company. I am the sitting president for the American Glass Guild. I'm the co-chair with the North American Steering Committee with Dr. Shadhari, and the chair of the Art and Museum Coordinating Committee for the International Year of Glass. I was very excited about the AACG, and I decided to join their organization, and then that led me to another volunteer opportunity. I sit on the AACG IYOG committee. I've also learned a lot of acronyms. The International Year of Glass is comprised of 18 regional organizations established from 81 countries. The North America Steering Committee represents Region 7. We are a conduit for glass art endorsement, artists, and organizations. We encourage the promotion of public awareness of shared opportunities, activities, anniversaries, and events across the North Americas. Many of us on this committee endorsed the International Year of Glass initiative at its inception and are active members of larger glass organizations and/or working glass artists themselves. Our collective resources allow us to share ideas, contribute, and follow our contemporaries during the international year-long celebration. The mission is to learn about glass, its past, present, and future possibilities, to be respectful of the environment, and to utilize diverse ideas and individuals to achieve that goal. We need to educate and learn from our contemporaries, support collaboration and explore its possibilities, and nurture its growth and sustainability. The American Glass Guild that I represent is a nonprofit organization founded in 2006. Since its inception, we remain 100% volunteer. We're invested in building a sense of community in the glass world by holding annual conferences and virtual educational gatherings that bring together artists, studios, educators, historians, architects, designers, galleries, collectors, manufacturers, suppliers, and members of the public with an interest in art made with glass. The American Glass Guild's vision for 2022 and the International Year of Glass is to provide opportunities that elevate the glass art community, facilitate creativity, and ensure that quality glass art endures for years to come. We will be hosting our summer conference and the International Year of Glass emphasis with a celebration at Corning Museum of Glass in July 14th to the 17th. Corning is the world's largest space dedicated to the display of contemporary art and design in glass. And hosting a conference at Corning offers a unique opportunity to bring together glass luminaries from art, industry, research, and science to educate and celebrate our noble medium of glass. I look forward to seeing all of you at Corning in July, and we look forward to gathering once again in person since the pandemic. Thank you, Larry.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. Now we're going to see a short video produced by the Corning Museum of Glass. All right, thank you. Now it gives me great pleasure and a true honor to introduce our AACG Year of Glass Committee, consisting of co-chairs Jan Smith, Bonnie Marks, Felice Appel, Jane Buckman, Dimitra Theophanos, Kathy Jordan, and Diane Farber. They have been devoted to this project for many months and will summarize their efforts for you. Jan, take it away.
Thank you, Larry. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Linda. We formed in June to organize and set our goals, and by October, we sent 2,000 letters to AACG constituents introducing the Year of Glass, and then followed up with a number of letters to museums, galleries, and doing educational outreach to various institutions. Then additionally targeted 174 museums who participated in the 2012 initiative for the 50th anniversary of contemporary glass. So with these initiatives, we've also built social media platforms with the skills of Felice and online calendar access through the work that Linda has been doing. So our committee, next slide please, has basically been forming to become, our goals were to become advocates for all of the things going on and funnel the information that museums were sharing with us and other institutions as well as galleries and organizations. Be ambassadors for this program and be amplifiers of these events that we could share with you and the general public and bring them up to the global scale. This is just such an exciting opportunity, and I hope that we can get you as enthusiastic as we are as a committee as we've seen all of these things happen. So please, next slide. I'd like to introduce you to some of the museums, exhibitions, and educational programming that are going on, and please keep in mind that this is fluid, this will be changing. This is a constant effort to keep you updated with the next events that will be continuing throughout the year. So this is just a snippet. Starting with the Sandwich Glass Museum has an exhibition going until July 22 called Pure Effects, work of Wayne Stratman and light sculptures. The Barry Art Museum has intensified 3D tours online, as well as has just closed a very nice Karen Lamont exhibition that is also available online. They've installed their collection with their fine art. Next slide, please. The Toledo Museum of Art is continuing to host their Barry Studio hot glass programs on Thursday nights after dark, as well as have an upcoming list of exhibitions and visiting artist programs. And then the Toledo Museum of Art has been doing a very interesting collaboration with their with citywide events planned, and this is just a sampling of one of the works on exhibit. Please continue. Next slide, please. Thank you. Bergstrom Mahler Museum of Glass has has two retrospectives going. One closes on February 13th, so if you can't catch that in person, they have a great catalog and a wonderful video they produced of John and Kate that's online, as well as the upcoming retrospective of Michael Milan, and that fits right into the 60-year initiatives with this influential figure. Next slide, please. The International Paperweight Collectors Association has a biannual conference, and they are planning theirs for the Appleton Neenah area, going to a mecca for paperweights. The artists will be showcasing works from the Bergstrom Mahler Museum collection at the Payne Art Center in Arboretum, so there's a little bit more outreach for glass there. Next slide, please. Museum of Wisconsin Art is closing an exhibition of the Hyde collection of glass just next week, but the Beth Lipman piece is continuing to be on view in Earth, and I will be presenting a lecture tomorrow at 2, so please join me if you can to learn a little bit more about the Wisconsin connections in glass and how that fits into the studio glass movement. Next slide, please. The Lee-Woodson Museum of Art is hosting the Art Deco collection, beautiful collection of David Hutchhausen that's traveling from the Tacoma Art Museum. Next, please. And the Racine Art Museum is cleverly putting together snippets from their permanent collections in a series of exhibitions. One will be closing soon with beads by Joyce Scott, and Preston Singletary comes up next. Thank you. Next. Wadsworth Museum is working with Simon Abrams to put together a very contemporary exhibition dealing with a broad spectrum of glass. Please, thank you. Next slide. The Museum of Glass has ongoing events in Tacoma, and they are highly involved in the gas conference as well in May. So lots of exciting things that will be happening there along with artist demonstrations. Thank you. Next slide. The Henry Ford Museum has been hosting a series of long-term artist residencies that have been informative, of which they've produced videos that are available online. They've offered to create a compilation of these videos into a documentary program that should be available by about July. So next slide, please, to give you a snippet of what they have to offer.
It's not only for yourself that you do things, but it is for the group.
Inspiration doesn't come in the form of a completed light bulb ready to be screwed in.
Technique is really important,
You're seeing the best of me here, really, because otherwise it could take months for me to get what I'm getting done here in 5 days.
Not only am I, as an artist, being able to take it to another level and we're getting success, but also the teammates are also expanding their parameters.
It's about doing the absolute best you can, I've learned over the years to try not to be a perfectionist and to strive more to be an excellentist.
And so you try to set up the situation so that everyone is growing and failing.
I'm not under any pressure other than pressure I'm putting on myself.
The hardest critic is yourself. You're always the one that's judging you for where you compromised along the way.
A lot of the failures offer venue for another direction, another potential.
I learned lots of technique, from history.
Once you get proficient with the material, the challenge is to then come up with something that hasn't been done before.
Then I start through myself and use, those techniques to express my own idea,
The pure joy of process is there in addition to what we're trying to accomplish.
It's so hard to try and be unique, to try and make your own mark.
And I shoot for 100% art, 100% integrity, and you just push that level as high as you possibly can each time.
Thank you, Linda. That was great. Salem Community College continues to host the International Flameworking Conference, which was started by Paul Stankard 20 years ago. It's an ongoing opportunity to see flameworking at its best with international participants. So, next slide, please. Wheaton Arts continues their Wheaton Conversations, and we'll be having exhibitions coming up later on in the year. So upcoming conversation is with Dan Daly and Richard Royal. Next, please. Pittsburgh Glass Center is not only an education center offering classes and workshops, residencies, but also has plans for an exhibition that they will feature these artists, artists of color, looking at a showcase of diversity and inclusion. Next, please. FOSI, the Minnesota Glass Center for Arts, is a community program, community-based program for education. It was established as a 501c3 in 2009, but actually opened to the public in 1996. It is hosting exhibitions as well as events, and has a wonderful Claude Rydell exhibition of art of the Near Timid. I hope I didn't mispronounce that, up to March 21st. So please check that out. Next slide, please. What's happening virtually has exploded, certainly with the pandemic, but Geeks Glass was formed by Helen Lee along with Kim Hardy to surface a platform for diversity and inclusion. They host talks and a variety of educational platforms, all done online. So check out Geeks Glass. This is continuing throughout the year. Next. And then let's take a moment to watch a video from North Carolina Glass Center to see what their mission is all about.
We're not doing the video on that one, Jane.
Okay, thank you. Well, the center also hosts exhibitions, has visiting artists, and is a nice community center for hosting workshops. Next, please. Another community gallery in Texas offers a meaningful community outreach and is sharing a message of diversity, and has a video as well on the work that they do and how they see themselves.
Glass is a really unique thing. It's transformed humanity in many instances. That you can see these moments where glass really changed us. The experience of working with glass is truly inspiring. It forces you to be in the moment, your world fades away and all distractions are gone.
I think that glass has characteristics that other materials don't. And from narrative perspectives, you can take glass and do things with it that you can't in other creative areas. And it becomes this object for self-reflection. It becomes this object for fragility. It becomes this object that you can kind of transpose all these ideas and all these concepts.
The excitement that people bring in and bring out is honestly, I think, kind of what keeps us going, because it's an awesome material to play with. So being able to bring that enthusiasm out of somebody is really fantastic.
A lot of people come into Seneca and say that they are coming here because they want to get away from what they do in their daily lives. And so I think art is somewhat of an escape for a lot of people. I think that's a big reason why Seneca makes a difference to people.
Being creative and being expressive helps us through challenge. And that, I think, creates these unique moments of opportunity for us to express ourselves, to make, to heal. And so through all that we've been through, what Seneca offers, what Seneca is uniquely positioned to bring to the community, is incredibly valuable.
Thank you, Linda. Isn't this exciting to see just this snippet of what's possible in over these past 60 years to bring glass not only as a beautiful art form, but also offer it to the public in a variety of platforms such as these educational institutions. If there's anyone on this call who we've missed today, I just want to emphasize that we are continuing to gather material and keep people updated. So my apologies if there's someone who wasn't in this section. But we'll bring Jane Buckman forward to please talk about the hurricane she's forming in Florida with the glass initiatives there. Jane, thank you. Please join us.
Thank you, Jan. With the designation of 2022 as the International Year of Glass, Imagine Museum in St. Petersburg, Florida, we fashioned our whole year of programming to reflect and celebrate the extraordinary aspects of glass and the transformational impact on contemporary art, technology, and the sciences. So Linda, if you go to the first slide of the video, it's a short video we're creating this year to communicate the International Year of Glass.
Glass allows us to see in and out and invites us to imagine. Imagine Museum, Contemporary Glass Art.
So we're going to take these themes and move them forward. So the glass age transforming our world is our theme for 2022. So we just were very direct. We will be highlighting the history, the inventions, and the wonders of glass through inspiring and uplifting art installations, lectures, tours, outreach, and public engagement. Currently, Imagine Museum's collection of contemporary glass exceeds 1,600 contemporary glass artworks with over 400 pieces on display throughout our 19 galleries. Our collection is comprised of 258 artists representing over 20 countries. Our collection features the spirit of experimentation, innovation, and historic relevance from the mid-20th century American studio glass movement to the current international influence and exchange of artists from around the world. Our mission is to elevate contemporary glass art and its artists from around the world to inspire, uplift, and educate, giving attention to this movement that is celebrating its 60th anniversary. Beginning January 29th, we will be unveiling one of the preeminent contemporary artists working with the glass material today, Martin Blank's If a River Could Tell a Story. This tour de force sculptural installation is comprised of 52 elements, is 8 feet tall and 3 to 8 feet in width. Now for the video. Great. Another initiative we are undertaking, and that will be revealed January 29th during the Habitat Gallery's Glass Coast Weekend in Sarasota, and also a special reception we'll have for Martin on the evening of January 29th. It should be great. Go to our website for more information. Another initiative we are undertaking to bring the state of Florida together for this Year of Glass, and especially our location on the Glass Coast, we are actually putting together and have now it's in the public, putting together a call to artists for Florida artists only, entitled Florida in Transformation, with a directive to push the boundaries and submit works that communicate the artist's personal narrative or influences taken from this state that only glass and its profound qualities can capture. So if you're an artist working out there and you're from the state of Florida, we invite you to participate in our call to artists. There will be prizes. Imagine Museum is proud to represent and celebrate with the UN in its designation of 2022 as the Year of Glass. For us, we exemplify the wonders of materials to individuals every day, having them imagine with us the extraordinary capacity of this relatively common material, glass. Thanks, Jan.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Bonnie Marks, who's been my incredibly dynamic co-chair, and it's just been my honor to be able to work with her, who's used her talents to work with a number of outreach initiatives. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Jan. First slide, please. Thank you. I'm Bonnie Marks, and I've been an AACG member and glass collector since 1990. And I'm also a former glass gallery owner. But today I want to share some really great news. Art galleries around the globe are excited to celebrate the International Year of Glass. AACG gallery members are announcing today their 2022 exhibitions that honor the International Year of Glass and the 60th anniversary of American Studio Glass. Here are several slides to show you samples of their 2022 exhibition plans. Shall we begin the PowerPoint? There we go. The Artsio Gallery in Czech Republic. Next, please. The Blue Rain Gallery in Santa Fe, New Mexico, featuring Preston Singletary. The Bullseye Projects in Portland, Oregon will be featuring Jeffrey Sarmiento. The Duncan McClellan Gallery in St. Peters, Florida, has given us his schedule for January through March. The Glass Artist Gallery in Glebe, Australia, will be featuring Johnston Westacott. This is his Nagoya Spyglass piece. The Habitat Galleries in West Palm Beach, Florida, will be having an upcoming exhibition for Dan Daly. The Habitat Galleries in Royal Oak, Michigan, have given us their schedule from January through April. The Hawk Galleries in Columbus, Ohio, are sharing their calendar from February through December. The Heller Gallery from New York, New York, will be featuring a special exhibition, Textures in Glass. The Jean-Claude Chapelot Gallery in Luxembourg will be featuring Yvonne Marish. The Ken Saunders Gallery is located in Chicago, Illinois. The Cottrell Rifkin Art Glass in Dallas, Texas, will be featuring Kathleen Elliott. The Momentum Gallery in Asheville, North Carolina. The Montague Gallery in San Francisco, California. The OK Spark Gallery in Norfolk, Virginia. The Philibom Glass Gallery is in Tucson, Arizona. The Raven Gallery is in Aspen, Colorado. The Sabia Gallery is in Redfern, Australia, featuring the artist Nick Mount. The Sandra Ainsley Gallery is in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And the Shantz Gallery, Stockbridge, Massachusetts. The Shaw Gallery is in Naples, Florida. The Studio 7 Fine Art Gallery is in Bernardsville, New Jersey. And then finally, the Vessel Gallery in London, England. I also want to recognize today the regional glass groups across our nation. The U.S. Regional Glass Group members are regional collectors, glass enthusiasts, artists, galleries, and organizations in the local glass art community. The regional glass groups are planning right now trips and tours during the Year of Glass to visit galleries and museums, glass art lectures, to visit private collections, artist studios, glass demos, glass schools, and to socialize together, both in person and virtually, during the International Year of Glass 2022. Watch the AACG website, calendar, and quarterly newsletters for details. Here are a few slides that reveal regional glass groups sharing and enjoying their passion for glass art. The Metropolitan Glass Art Group in New York with artist Deborah Ceresco. The Arizona Glass Art Alliance in Phoenix, Scottsdale. The Midwest Contemporary Glass Art Group in Chicago touring the Neon and Light Pop-Up Museum. The Glass Alliance of Northern California in the San Francisco Bay Area at an opening reception for Lino Telepietra at the Montague Gallery. Florida Glass Art Alliance is on the Florida East Coast, and they're attending a Chicago Sofa Art Fair. Southwest Florida Glass Art Alliance attended a docent tour by Barbara Bash of the Bash Gallery at Ringling College of Arts and Design. Glass Alliance New Mexico attended a presentation at Gerald Peters Gallery in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Glass Alliance of Los Angeles arranged a hot shop studio visit. Do you want to get involved in the Year of Glass? If you love glass art and are interested in participating in the Year of Glass, consider becoming a 2022 Glass Art Ambassador. Ambassadors reach out to their local museums and request events that honor the International Year of Glass. Ambassadors visit and support art galleries and museums that feature glass art. Ambassadors join or consider starting a glass group during the Year of Glass. Ambassadors follow the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass website, the calendar of events, social media, and attend weekly virtual meetups and monthly Fired Up educational programs. For more information or questions, contact admin@contemptglass.org. The Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass website is contemptglass.org and aacgglass.org. Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass is hopeful you will enjoy this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to universally celebrate everything about glass. Thank you very much.
Jan, you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bonnie. That was a fabulous overview of just a touch of the number of things that are happening that are so exciting. And as you were talking, a number of things were appearing in the chat that other people know about. So please share. That's the excitement of being an ambassador. We're so excited that you are excited, and we have more to come. So let me introduce Dimitra Theophanis, who wears many hats, all with aplomb, as an artist, president of Glance in California, is a GAS board member, and is also the incoming president of AACG.
Thank you, Jan.
Please share your information. Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to take on the position of president-elect for the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass at the start of what I'm sure is going to be a very dynamic year for this art form. I look forward to continuing to be an ambassador for the International Year of Glass and doing what I can to spread the word about this important designation. I am also president of a regional group called the Glass Alliance of Northern California. We are comprised of collectors, artists, and glass enthusiasts that love the glass arts. We provide grants and scholarships, and we used to have monthly events for our members. But like most organizations, we have had to switch to a virtual format. And in March of 2020, we started an online program called Glance Connections. It is a monthly Zoom program for members only that features artist talks, tours of private collections, and tours of museum and gallery exhibits. It has been a great way to connect during the pandemic, but we are all looking forward to the pandemic landscape changing. And there are some exciting in-person events coming up in the year ahead. Montague Gallery in San Francisco is having some exciting exhibitions, starting with Steve Klein in January, Nancy Callan in March, and Lino Tagliapietra in the fall. In addition to the exhibitions at Montague Gallery, there is another long-awaited exhibition that has finally been installed at the San Francisco International Airport after a year-long delay. It features the work of the late Marvin Lepofsky, with 15 pieces created at studios around the world during his travels. While the exhibition delays due to the pandemic were certainly frustrating, in this case, it really seems quite fitting that Marvin Lepofsky, a pioneer of the American studio glass movement, nicknamed the roving ambassador of glass, would have an exhibit during a year where we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of studio glass, as well as the International Year of Glass. And we have more to celebrate this year, as I have one more milestone to share with you. I am also on the board of the Glass Art Society, and they are celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. In addition to some special collectors tours, the Glass Art Society is having an amazing glass conference up in Tacoma, Washington in May. And here to talk about the conference is Executive Director of the Glass Art Society, Brandy Clark.
Thank you, Demetra. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So it's so good to see so many familiar names and faces today. And as Demetra said, my name is Brandy Clark. If I don't know you already, I am the Executive Director of the Glass Art Society. And if you're unfamiliar with the Glass Art Society, our mission is, we are an international nonprofit organization, and our mission is to connect, inspire, and empower all facets of the global glass community. We work to celebrate and elevate the diverse contributions of our global community and bring glass enthusiasts together across borders. So needless to say, we are thrilled to be part of the International Year of Glass. This year is part of the International Year of Glass. As Demetra said, we're also celebrating our 50th anniversary. And among other things, that means we're going to have a very special conference May 18th through 21st in Tacoma, Washington. If you haven't been to a gas conference before, this is a great one to start with. This year's theme is going to be Between Here and There, and we'll be looking at and honoring the history of gas and the glass community, as well as looking at what the future holds. Over 4 days, there will be more than 100 events, exhibitions, and presentations, with a few highlights of this year's conference, including a lecture by Laura Donifer on the history of the glass fashion show, a special demonstration honoring Benny Moore and his contributions to our community, partnerships with high school glass programs and public access studios supporting young glass artists from around the country, a variety of presentations focusing on sustainability, both how to create a sustainable glass practice and how artists can make their practice more environmentally friendly. An International Year of Glass collaboration, bringing together talented flame workers from all over the world that will span 3 days. And as Demetra mentioned, we also have our collectors tour, which will showcase some of the best artists in the Northwest, highlight enviable art collections, and offer unique events specifically designated for tour attendees. And that only scratches the surface, but you can find out more information on our website, which is glassart.org, and the full conference schedule is not out yet, but we'll release it on February 1st. So stay tuned to all the other things that we'll be planning, and we hope to see you in Tacoma this May. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That just sounds fabulous, Brandy. And thank you, Demetra. It's incredibly exciting to see all of these things just explode around the country, and more to come. And Linda Green, has the administrator for AACG, has been trying to capture them all and load them into the calendar of events, and has been doing a fabulous job sorting through all of this information and trying to get it back to you to share. So here she is. Thank you, Linda.
Thanks, Jan. One of your major resources for the International Year of Glass is the AACG website. We have redesigned our homepage so that the focus is on this year's celebrations, with links to make it easy to navigate the various Year of Glass websites. Our event and exhibition calendars will be keeping track of as many ongoing activities as we are made aware of. On the homepage to the right, you will see the next 2 AACG events and 2 additional events. Then if you click on the link to the events calendar below these 4 items, it will take you to that month's calendar where all the posted events are shown. Click on any of these to get a page with more information about it. Back on the homepage under exhibitions, click on the link for exhibitions page and you will be taken to the exhibitions calendar. These are all listed in the order they open. Click on View More for each, and you will see additional information about that specific exhibition. Another resource AACG members will have is the calendar of events and exhibitions printed in our quarterly newsletter. AACG's entire year of programming is in celebration of the International Year of Glass. That includes our weekly meetups for AACG members on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and our monthly Fired Up programs on the 3rd Tuesday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Fired Up is always open to the public, and the next one will be next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Another AACG Year of Glass event is a return at last to our annual member trip, which we are pleased to announce will be held in Santa Fe, New Mexico from June 8th to the 12th. AACG members will be receiving more details about this trip and the opportunity to register to attend soon. Finally, AACG is very much looking forward to returning to Chicago in the fall for Intersect Chicago, where we have had our award ceremony and member event and a sponsored lecture for many years. AACG members receive complimentary VI passes for this art fair. We hope to see you all there. And for those of you with us today who are not AACG members, I urge you to consider joining our organization. You can join via our website at your convenience. We look forward to having you as a member.
In this group, we've provided a number of links and websites for you to update your information. So please use this as a resource and guide. And should you have any questions, my email and Bonnie Marks' email is at the bottom to contact us. I certainly invite you to do so at any time as you have more questions about this fabulous year that's coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Can you hear me? Yeah. Thanks, Jan. And I want to thank all of the presenters for bringing a vision and clarity to the AACG's efforts to lead and support the United Nations International Year of Glass. What you have seen is the tip of the iceberg. 2022 is just beginning, and we have shared what we have received to date. We will continue to share many more programs as the year evolves. When we think of art made from glass, we as collectors, galleries, museums, artists, educational groups, and community-based art centers conjure up thoughts of a unique material. It starts from silica-based chemicals. It is a sensuous liquid full of fire and magic that can be blown, sculpted, cast, flame-worked, kiln formed, painted, etc. It becomes solid and strong to form sculptures and architectural marvels. At the same time, it represents fragility. It interacts with light in unique ways of transparency, translucency, and refraction. It creates colors that create a visual feast. It is the material that we celebrate during the International Year of Glass. We encourage all of you to get involved in your local communities to make all of their art programming aware of the International Year of Glass and encourage them to focus on the art of glass. Please let our committee know of your local programming. Also, please contact our committee directly if you want to get more formally involved with the AACG. We are encouraging you and urging you to become ambassadors in support of the Year of Glass. I can't see all of you out there, but right now I'd like to recognize a few key people as Teresa Medici. She came on the Zoom early, and I wonder, Teresa, who was in Italy, if you'd like to make a few comments.
Yes, thank you, Larry. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this amazing meeting. I'm really overwhelmed by the quantity, the quality of your contributions. My congratulations from all my heart. And I need to say that it's true that Larry Sibrak was, I think, the first email I received about the proposal of organized events concerning museum and other was from Larry. He was systematically asking me what I can do, what we can do. We are already organized a working group, and I can see that it really worked very well. And what I really liked was to see such a quantity of institutions involved all around the states. Most of them, some of them I already knew because they are renowned museum. I would like to spend 2 words about me. I'm involved with the International Year of Glass because I am actually the chair of ICON Glass. Most people among you working with museums should know ICON, the International Council of Museums, and the GLASS is the international committee of ICON that collected museums and collection of glass. So some museums that are here today are member of our committees, like the Cornell Museum, of course, the Toledo Museum. But I think that some of the museums that I heard today are not still members. So I would like to remember, if you are ICON United States members and you are interested in glass, please join ICON Glass, because I think that is another place where you can share the common passion that we have, and maybe not speak only or just about contemporary art glass, not about the last 60 years of glass art, but coming a little bit back, and because what we like is the material, and the material started to be shaped by the men at least 4,000 years ago. And I cannot exclude that the first small bottles that you can find in Egypt, dating in the Bronze Age, they were made also with a kind of artistic inspiration by the glass makers. And the other thing that I liked is to know about a lot of educational program and a lot of glass center that are working with the communities. This is very important, and I think that we had this International Year of Glass declared by the UN, also because we demonstrate that with glass art and with glass museum, we can really improve the communities, because museums and also the glass making practice are really a powerful tool for improving the social health and the well-being of the community. And I think that most of your program are demonstrating that it is really true and it works very well. So I thank you for inviting me in, and really my great congratulations for your activities.
Teresa, thank you for joining us. And it was a pleasure to finally meet you. Okay. after all
Yes.
this time.
After all these emails
Yes.
that we shared in the last 6 months at least.
I'd also like to introduce now Manoj Chowdhury, I think, who's hopefully he's still here. I've gotten the pleasure to know him a little bit through the North American Steering Committee. Manoj, please join us.
Well, thank you very much, Larry. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Good. So, Larry, first of all, thank you for including me in this meeting. I'm sorry I was slightly late in joining, but I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to all of you and watching the videos, and I really feel honored to have been included here. So thank you very much. I am not and cannot be and will not try to be as eloquent as many of you have been. So let me very briefly say that one of the great rewards of chairing the North American Steering Committee has been to get to know, to come in contact with wonderful people like yourself from the world of glass museum, glass art, glass studios. It has made my life richer, and that will continue well beyond 2022. I want to congratulate the Glass Art Society. This is the 50th anniversary for them. I understand this is the 60th anniversary of the Glass Studio movement. And let's not forget, this is the 670th anniversary of the first depiction of eyeglasses in a painting, in a work of art by Tommaso da Modena. So this 2022 is truly a great anniversary year to celebrate glass, including glass art. So thank you very much. All I can say is that I'm very excited. As I said earlier, I had, of course, some notion about just how diverse and wonderful the art and museum community is. I've had the pleasure of visiting many studios, museums, and galleries in US and also some other parts of the world. It is great to finally see some of the people that I had heard about and see their work that have been displayed in various presentations. So with that, I thank you very much, indirectly or directly making me a part of your life through the International Year of Glass. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Manoj, thank you. And it's been a pleasure to get to know you during this time. Thanks for joining us. Now, the last person, I don't know if Alicia Duran has been able to attend from Madrid. Alicia, if you're here, please let us know. Yeah, I don't think she could make it. She just returned to Madrid from a trip to Argentina.
Yeah.
So at this time, I would like to, you can put your gallery views on. You don't have to be on speaker view. And I'd like to, if there are any comments or questions, you can unmute yourself and ask any questions at this time. So we'll switch to the gallery view and see if there are any further comments or questions.
Just a comment, this was fabulous. It's a little overwhelming, but wow, I'm going to try and be in about 13 places at once we get started.
Thanks, Howard.
I see Carol Wright from Corning here. Hello, Carol, welcome. Perhaps she could say or speak on behalf. Corning was involved so much in the very beginning of this initiative, and I'd like to introduce Carol Wright, the Executive Director of Corning Museum of Glass.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm delighted to be here as well and to see the volume of activity that's going to be taking place across the course of 2022. It's very exciting. Of course, we have our annual slate of programs and exhibits planned as well. And since we live right next door to Corning Incorporated, are in close communication with them about what the company is planning to do to recognize the richness of glass and its impact on the world. So we're delighted to be hosting your group this summer, Kathy, for your conference. And I know some of the folks on this call are going to be in attendance as well as speakers are just joining the conference in place. We have a number of exhibits slated for the year, including our major exhibit, which is going to be called Past Present, and is more of an in-depth look at some of the pieces in our collection that have complicated and deep narratives around them. We're sending our mobile hot shop to Tacoma to support the Glass Art Conference, the GAS conference there, and it's going to be thrilling to send it across the country again. It's been a while since we've been able to get out there with the pandemic, so I feel like we're a chrysalis that's opening up right now and getting back out into the world. So I'll stop there so that others can ask questions, but we look forward to, I hope, seeing many of you coming to Corning as well.
Thanks, Carol. Pleasure to see you. Are there any other comments or questions before we close the session?
Larry, I just want to remind people that this is recorded and this video will probably be available as on the AACG YouTube channel.
Right.
So people can review this, watch the videos, and just refresh their memory on all the wonderful things going on.